Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me, as he is every Friday, is Connor Max 6. Did you make that?
Money.
There we go. Out of the way, Connor. How are you doing over there?
I'm good, Jose. How are you, my man? I see you are doing well the last few days.
Well,
It's good to
thanks to
hear.
you. Well, thanks to you. You
Well,
started this.
I knew you were gonna get going, but it was too long. You were too deep, and just you needed talking to. And
Yeah,
look, you're getting out of it.
it seems like it. We did lose the under this for the first game. Whatever. I knew that game was fucked when I saw half the chat on the over, and I was like, oh, geez. So shout out to the chat as always. But we've got a full baseball slate here to talk about. A kind of a light card for me, Connor. I've like got 3 picks left on the card, 2 in 1 game. And of course, Red Sox, Yankees I've got to play in. So we'll talk about it all here. Let's get after it here, Connor Mack. Let's start with, and again, I told you, Connor Mack, I don't have many games I love on this card. This is not one of them. I've definitely got some leans, and maybe I should stop being a little safe. I'm not sure, but we've got Marlins Nationals here, and a lot of love for the Marlins, a lot of love in the market for the Marlins. 68% of the bets, 78% of the money on them, and it's Sandy Alcantara. Can you go wrong with that? He's been struggling this year, but still better than Trevor Williams here, Connor Mack. The more interesting factor for me in this game, 60% of the money, 60% of the bets, I should say, and 90% of the money on the under in this game, thinking that both these guys can shove here. So let's talk about Trevor Williams here first. Trevor Williams in his last outing at Atlanta, it was a good one. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 6-2 win there at Atlanta. It's about all you could ask for from Trevor Williams, especially as a guy that eats innings as well. And then White Sox for Sandy Alcantara and that pitching. I think it was against Cease. Him and Cease going at it. And shout out to him because he had a great outing that day. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Is that going to start just going to get him going for the rest of the season? Maybe, but I could see him pitching well against a horrible Nationals team. So I passed on this one. I lean under. What do you think?
You could shout out to the chat. Shout out to Real Deal Prime. Appreciate my man, the grinder. $2.20 dono. Appreciate my man, Jeffrey Luke. Jay Peasy, Rocco. As always, Jay's Final Take. Thanks for becoming a member. I probably did that earlier, though. They showed that. Let's get to this one. There's only one play. I don't have a play on this. You mentioned Trevor Williams for me, though. It's a guy that I backed in certain times. He, like you said, innings eater. Kind of just is what he is. He's going to give you 4 or 5. And sometimes he'll give up a few. Sometimes he can get away with giving up just a run or two. And how much rain here? Is this going to get played?
That's an excellent question, Connor. That's an excellent question. RotoWire, and I'll do a little refresh here real quick. 64% chance of rain. It's in the red here. And the wind's kind of blowing out. I'll look at the weather.com to check what the weather is in.
I got light wind in here with Swish and light rain early. I think it's going to get played. If it does, it's just delayed for a minute. But you talked about Sandy. I can't back him, Jose. I need to see more starts like that last one. Was that just, I don't know. Until he gets rolling, a guy I bet so much the last 2 or 3 years, I've just completely stayed off. Just since like probably his first or second start. I just haven't touched him. And now he's this price on the road. Marlins, the better team. But to me, this is take the Nats or nothing here.
Beautiful. Nats are nothing for Connor, I would say.
And how much is the White Sox, is it really them? We know their bats aren't great and cold. It's still the Ks. He had 2 walks, 4 Ks. I mean, was he really great? And that was his best start since April 4th, maybe this second start of the year where he went 9 innings. So I got to see more from Sandy. And at this price, just nada, take the dog, pass.
Agreed there, Connor Mack. Let's go to the Red Sox and Yankees game. And we talked about this game earlier. Shout out to Jimmy, of course. I said this game was going to go up to 10, which all indications it seemed like it was, and it has. that I'd bet the under in this game, Connor Mack. So I'm going to be on the under here, under 10, minus 115 for me here. Two offenses that just have not been going. It's obviously a little concerning, the back-to-back spots here for both pitchers. And on top of that, Connor Mack, I said this earlier today on Jimmy's program. The second time around the order for Tanner Houck is always a rough one. His first time through the order, he gives up an opponent batting average of like 120. I don't have the numbers in front of me again. Let me see if I do actually real quick. I actually do. It's funny. 160 batting average against. Second time through the order, the batting average rises up to 323. So I am worried about that from a side perspective, and money's coming in on the Red Sox. 79% of the money and only 42% of the tickets on the Red Sox here. So if I had to pick a side, I think I'd be on the Red Sox here again, but I'm staying off. Like I said this morning, my initial first lean was Yankees just for X's and O's wise, but the market just pushing me towards the Red Sox. I'm on the under though. Market move on that, or I should say market on that real quick, Connor Mack, before I pass it off to you. Yep. 62% of bets on the over, 41% of the money on the over there. So bigger bets on the under, 59% of bets are money on the under. So we'll see. I cashed all the unders last weekend. Let's see if I can do it again here.
Yeah, we talked last weekend about how this was the long games back in the day and lots of overs, Yankee Red Sox, and it just hasn't been like that. I'd actually like to pull it up too, because they probably are already this year, probably gone like 6 of 8 or something. I know all those games went under, right?
And yeah, those are the first 3 games that they played. So all
they hadn't
so
played.
Far this. Yeah, that
was the first series. Oh, okay.
So it's all been under so far.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned the back-to-back that they just saw. These guys, Herman's been good since the sticky stuff. He was pretty good that game. You mentioned Houck the second time through. Yeah, I mean, I think he's out of there. 4 or 5, pretty good numbers though. Not crazy. He's only had a couple starts here versus the Yankees.
Yeah, always pitches well, and the same thing with Domingo too against the Red Sox.
Yeah, 9 hits, 64 at bats, certain 141 off him. So conflicting stuff for me, but I think I'd rather be on the under than this over. It's just they're seeing him a second time. Maybe one of these bats wake up. No Judge. I mean, some of these other guys got to step up for the Yankees. And I know the Red Sox, scored some runs there that last game against the Rockies, but they've been a little bit cold as of late. But yeah, only a few guys stuck out for me prop-wise. Justin Turner has a couple all right. Verdugo's okay. So maybe look to those guys in this one.
Yeah, I'd like for my guy Masataka Yoshida to record a hit against the Yankees this year. That'd be a good start.
I think he will.
Well. That would be nice. For the whole series last time. So let's see if he can pick that shit up.
Come on.
I'm on the under 10 minus 115 here. Let's see how it rides. I'm excited to watch that game, and I lean Red Sox obviously, but
yeah, it's moving that way.
Yeah, it was minus 120 earlier today, minus 130 now. So definitely gives me a little more confidence in the Sox here, and it makes me feel like Tanner's going to pitch better. That's also what gives me the more confidence on the under there. So we'll see. Cardinals Mets here, line movement to the Cardinals here, and it made sense to me here, Connor, because Miles Mikolas is, obviously been up and down this year, but I've liked him throughout his time here in St. Louis, and it's really just I don't know what it is. The funk in St. Louis just continues. He's coming off of a bad start against the Reds, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and a loss there, which kind of makes me want to back him even more, bounce back, obviously. Miguel, another guy I was high on, but I was more high on him when last year he came out of the gate throwing as hard as he's thrown in his entire career. And then, of course, he hurts his shoulder immediately after. So he just has not been the same guy. 3 2/3, 9 runs, 7 of them earned last time out for him against Pittsburgh, and then against Toronto before that, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run there, and a 2-1 loss for him. Honestly, Connor, just looking at, again, righty numbers against the Cardinals last 2 weeks, this whole month, as I always try to say, 116 weighted runs created plus, 6th best in baseball so far this month against righties or the Cardinals. So I lean Cardinals here as well. Maybe I'm just being a little hesitant, I guess, but I have not made the bet here. I don't think I will. Market wise, kind of feeling the same exact way, which is kind of, I guess, really what gets me off of it. 72% of the bets and 86% of the money on the Cardinals here. And it's only been a 5-cent move. So it feels like something's up there, perhaps. Same thing with the over here. 82% of the money and 76%. Sorry, backwards again there. 82% of the bets and 76% of the money on the over. So no movement on that either. Honestly, makes me feel like this might be an under game, but I passed here. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, like you brought that up, that's where I'd be here, and I might pull the trigger on this under, Jose. Michaelos, I think he's been pretty good at bounce backs after getting shelled. Both these pitchers have been bad. Miguel, we were on Friday night. Tons of guys in the chat, right, as well. And there's our guy, Joe. I think he was on Pirates. He just got drilled. It's tough for him. Fastball slider, I was talking with Sharpie yesterday with him. But at home, 3 ERA. I think he's better here today. And this has moved up. Not a ton of places, but it was 8.5. It's moved to 9. You mentioned all that over money. I'm going to stay off. I don't want either of these teams right now. They are just shitty. I don't want to bet on them. But the under is a decent look here. And I'm probably going to move on it. One of my favorite under umps, too. Always take a look at the umps. Phil Cuzzy, 10-2 to the under here tonight.
Jeez, that's crazy. 10-2 to the under. And you like full, or would you rather have full game or first 5 here, Connor? Because I might follow you here.
I was going to go full game, but I want to look at it a little more. First 5. I think these guys are better here. Like I meant, Miguel, it seems like a better start after getting shelled. And Michaelos might give up some, but he was bad as well. Both these guys have horrific starts, but I think they pitched better.
Agreed.
Is there 5s? Hold on, let me pull up first 5. There's 4.5.
Bovada has 4.5. Let me check our friends at Bet Online. By the way, Connor.
Yeah, 4.5 everywhere.
Shout out to our friends at Bet Online, Connor. I don't know if you saw this, but Bet Online now offering lines on the Special Olympics. So
really,
yeah,
Bet Online.
There it is. Bet Online. Hey, our friends at Bet Online. You can go sign up for an account right now. Promo code.
Put 1,000.
Yeah, put 1,000. Get 1,000 back. Website
Bingo,
right
baby.
now. Pubsportsradio.com. Shout out to them. Want to bet on Special Olympics? Sure, we've got it for you.
Hey, you can find the edge. Do it,
buddy. Yes, exactly. I wonder what the limits are for that as well.
They got limits, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guarantee that. Let's go Schuster Braves here versus the Rockies and Lamet. Shout out to Debbie Cab, who was with us earlier today, and he's talked about the advantages, I guess, of betting first 5 -1s, et cetera, et cetera. This would be the game I bet it in if I was going to. Jared Schuster, top prospect for the Braves, allegedly a top prospect for the Braves, been okay this year. But this is ultimately just a bet on the Braves bats, who are just ridiculous. I was thinking about this, Connor. The Braves are so well run and just such a class organization that they can have all their hitters up there raking so much so that they can just throw their young pitchers out there and not have to worry too much about them, because the offense can get them back in any game. Even with Spencer Strider sucking, like Jared Schuster, Dylan Dodd, AJ Smith, Shawver, those kind of guys can get starts in this rotation, and the Braves brass doesn't have to worry. So shout out to them. And the Rockies coming off of a series win against the Red Sox where they just didn't hit either, and they suck against lefties. So this just felt like a Braves -1 first 5 spot, but I didn't move on it.
Yeah, I'd be there right with you. And I had it all 3 games, and I had a feeling game 3 with the Rockies. I caught the couple even before that. I think I won 4 or 5 straight Rockies first 5, and I kind of knew it going in there. But it still was close. They scored a bunch late. I think it was 2-1 Red Sox in game 3 until they blew up.
Yeah, it was 2-2 in the 7th inning, and they gave up all those runs. So yeah, and it was an easy under cash too. Yeah, like for those whole series. I remember that last game. The line was moving over, and I rebet the under twice actually at 9.5 and 10.5, and cashed it both luckily. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean they expect runs here. Can the Rockies get some off Schuster? I don't like how they've been hitting lefties. It just seems like and maybe they do, but kind of a shitty spot for them. It just where they might not get a bunch of runs. Can they get a couple here? So I'm not going to touch the over, the total in this one at all. Braves here at home. It just seems like another game. Yeah, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind it. The -1. That's basically what you'd have to play here. Lamet he was better that last start against the Padres, but man, he got out of jams. Same kind of guy. He walks too many. He had 3 walks. He kind of wiggled out of some shit, but not a guy I want back. So yeah, Braves or nothing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Bovada not even offering the -1 for first fives. They typically do. I remember them doing it. So I'm making mine. Or I'm making one right now to see what it would be at currently, and it's still -164. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You want to take a -1.5 first 5, then you can take a -105 there. But pass for me here.
If you feel confident, I do it every once in a while. It's just I don't take home run lines, but I do it probably like 10 times a year, maybe less. I would do it sometimes when the Dodgers would roll because we know how much they'd win. By the run line, the 1.5 is I go the 2.5. Like if that's just full game, and I don't love there's the extra bat here with home, but you think they're gonna romp every once in a while. I'll do the alternate 2.5, and you get that plus money.
And I don't hate it doing first 5, so you can get at least all the bats too. So
yeah, the first 5, the 1 is good. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's move on to Toronto, Texas. A good matchup here, good series here. Debbie Cab was talking about these Rangers and his efficiency towards them, and I've been thinking about the Rangers a lot because I don't know what it is. I sometimes when I just look at these betting percentages, it always seems like the Rangers are just so bad. They just take all of the money all the time, et cetera, et cetera. This is a rare time where they don't have most of the money, it seems. 53% of bets and 40% of the money on the Rangers here. A lot of love for Gausman. And it makes sense to me, the the 5th best this month, I should say. 135 weighted runs created plus, 47 plate appearances, so small. The 20th full season against lefties are the Blue Jays. And the Rangers just hit. We know they hit constantly. But what Gausman are we going to see here? Jimmy mentioned it as well this morning. You can kind of tell immediately if Gausman's on or off. It's the splitter. It's unhittable. When he's on, he's on. Last time he was not on, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs there.
Yeah.
I would expect him, it's easy to say I expect him to bounce back here, but it's the second best offense in baseball. Blue Jays are okay against lefties. We'll see. This is a true test for Martin Perez, who also, I believe, is coming off of getting his shit rocked, if I can remember correctly. I'll pull it up here real quick, but I ultimately passed this game as well. I just nothing in the market ultimately interests me as well. And by the way, Martin Perez's last start at the Tampa Bay Rays, 3 1/3, 10 hits, 7 earned runs there. So yeah, I remember that correctly. Ultimately, yeah, again, I'm passing here. Totals wise, real quick, 50-50 ticket split on the total, but 66% of the money on the over, which makes sense because, on the face of it, you look at these two lineups and you just think over, right? So I passed. I'll be watching this game intensely and seeing how the Rangers do.
Yeah, 2 good pitchers that have just got ripped, like you talked about their last start. Gausman's been pretty good. You mentioned bouncing back after getting hit. And like you mentioned right away, and it's like if these guys are good after they were shitty, how not take this under? And I think this could be one where it's just going to be a dead under where they're both good, or we'll see runs again. You know what I mean? Because, when you see a 9 with these two, I know the lineups are solid. Blue Jays are streaky. Rangers have been a little bit more consistent. And the Rangers couldn't get a run in last night. I mean, they had a ton of hits, ton of walks, base load at the end. Before that, they should have had 7 or 8 runs yesterday in that game. But I like them here as dogs.
It's my guy.
All right. He got out of it.
The greatest to ever do it. I would like to remind everyone again, that Shohei Ohtani is going to be the greatest baseball player all of us has ever seen in our entire lives. One of the leaders in strikeouts, tied Pete Alonso for most home runs last year. Give him $700 million. Give that man all of the fucking money. He is ridiculous. Connor, real quick, though, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I've been talking about the playoffs and the wild card. People tell me that's a little early for that. Whatever. I don't care. I think we all know that we all kind of expect the Astros to win this division still against the Rangers. We'll see how that shakes out. If the Astros do win this division, like we all kind of think, it'll probably leave the Texas Rangers as the last wild card team. Because obviously the second place in the American League East, the Orioles have an incredible record, and the Yankees are right there behind them, whatever. That would leave these two teams probably fighting it out for a playoff spot here in the last wild card spot. So, Connor Mack, I'll ask you, going forward, which team would you rather be this season? The Toronto Blue Jays or the Texas Rangers?
The Rangers. Normally, I wouldn't say that the last few years, but I'd just rather be them. You mentioned that AL East. I just think they're going to beat up on each other. And the Blue Jays they got the talent. They're young. They go on streaks, but they're still not the best defensive team at times. I don't know. But that's the Rangers here. And who knows? I mean, Astros finally get it together. They had a big run. I remember last year. It just takes 3 weeks, where they can go like 16-4, something like that, and where they just get right back. But nothing right now, and we'll get to them. But still, the value here is, I think, with the Rangers. I think this plus money with Perez, maybe it's the fishy sucker kind of spot, and I haven't bet it. But and both games, we get what this total too. So interesting. If they're on under, it could go over. There's decent numbers. Seager's got some decent numbers. On the flip side, a few of the Jays, Springer, Chapman, have good numbers off Perez, and some don't. But I go right back to my guy Nathaniel Lowe. Seager too. He just missed a homer, but I think he had 3 hits, 2 or 3 hits, but 3 for 6. I think he's due to go yard, and his yards plus almost 700, plus 675. Keeps sitting in the 3 hole. He only has 8 jacks, but I think he goes yard. And the Ranger lineup's deep. That's why I think they'll get an over here over the Jays.
Yeah, I do. And by the way, I just checked the wild card standings. Don't look now, Connor Mack. The Los Angeles Angels are 1 game out of a wild card spot.
I know. Hey, they've been playing good.
Yeah, they have been, and they're obviously gonna be buyers at the trade deadline. Whatever they can get, they are selling everything for this year because they know Shohei's leaving, and they do not want to be the fuck ups that have never made the playoffs with Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. So I'm excited to watch what their Angels.
Still early,
yes. But I'm already tickling myself with excitement about this Angels team, who we'll talk about right now against the Royals here. And as you know, Connor, what's funny about this? This does feel like an absolute letdown spot for the Angels. They beat the Rangers in a series this past week. Gigantic series for them. We talked about how that was the series that they had to show up in to make themselves feel known in that division. That they're not just going to sit back and be a participant again. But yes, this feels like a Royal spot here, Connor Mack. But here's the thing. I lost on the Royals tragically, just horrifically earlier in this week with Reds Royals. I don't want to back them, I'll be honest. And let's double check the market and see how they're feeling about this games here. 75% of the tickets, 80% of the money on the Angels here. The Royals are just really, really bad, as everyone knows that as well. Same thing with the over here. 79% of the bets, 64% of the money on the over here. And, Patrick Sandoval's been good this year. He has his moments of sucking, and he currently is in one of those moments. It's so hit or miss with these pitchers. Like, you have to bet them when they're feeling great about themselves. In the last 2 starts for Sandoval, 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs at Houston, 5 innings, 10 hits, 5 earned runs against the Seattle Mariners. Maybe it's a in-division thing. We'll find out here, especially because the Royals are horrible against lefties. 27th full season, 26th this month, 66 weighted runs created plus there. So it has to be. It looks like the Angels should roll here, especially because 8-2 in their last 10. But I don't know. I just couldn't get there, unfortunately.
Yeah, no salve here. Look at this lineup for the Royals. Like right now, they're at home. They're a dog, but it's like this team should be 180, 200. I'm not trying to give the Angels credit, but that's just how pathetic the Royals are. Because with Singer on the mound in the last few years, he's a guy maybe I'd look to back here, but I can't trust him. I can't. I don't want Sandoval really either here with the Angels. Why isn't this more? You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat, by the way. Preston's like, yeah, only 8 likes. Come on. That's one thing, baby. Hit the like in this one. What did our guy Rocco said? A little umpire here. Yeah, I got my stuff.
Well,
it was to the under 8-3. The guy behind the dish, and I don't trust the bats. That's where I'd be on this game. Just Royal games haven't been good to me. The Reds were. I'm on the Reds. I've been on them. I'm probably like 9-1 with them. They won again. We'll get to them here in a minute, but yeah, I'm gonna be off. I'd like to take this under. Can I trust these two guys on the mound? I can't trust them.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this game because I really do think the Royals are alive here.
I think so too. God, it's just.
Yeah,
I think there's other games. If you're looking for something fun, or like a parlay, something like, man, this team hasn't won in a while. They're just been pathetic, and they're going to get on a run at some point. Look at the A's. We're just dreadful. Royals will get on a little streak. They'll probably be in August. Who knows? But that's when I want to jump on them. But I just can't take them right now.
By the way, Royals on a casual 9-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Just casual.
Just a little quiet, 9. Yeah. And you're only 130.
Quiet as can be. Yeah. And by the way, also the Royals officially have a worse record than the Oakland A's. So just
that too.
Just all that needs to be put in there. And yet they're still only minus 160 plus 134. So shout out to Nasty Nate. Hope to see you soon, my man. I can't wait for that. And Joe Free, stick around to the end of the show and we'll get you a Jack of the Day prop. Don't you worry, Mike.
Yeah, I'll have a couple. I'm going back to the well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after yesterday. We mentioned Nathaniel, Nate Lowe, just missing it. I wouldn't mind that just for the price. But, yeah, we'll get to the Dodger game, too. There's a few others.
Beautiful. But, Connor, I said throughout this show's history, I have not hit a player prop in like 3 years, cap in baseball. Don't look now, but I'm 3 for 3 in my last 3 player props. And they were all given to me by the chat, basically. It was Devers' home run, the under Tristan McKenzie strikeouts, because Real Deal Prime put our friendship on the line there. And shout out to Mike M yesterday. RBI play, Jose Ramirez. So shout out to him there. I'd like to see who he's on today. I want to see who he's on for RBIs as well here too. It'll be interesting.
There's such good value with those, and I think some of the best ways to play that too is I don't do parlays, but even doing that because it's so tough. There's so many RBIs guys get. It's some of these guys at that plus money, so I really like it. It's just guys have to be on base. You got to get a hit. You got to, unless it's a jack, obviously you have to have a guy in runner and scoring position. So you kind of have to put that all together. But I think there's huge money, to be made with those, the plus money where they're at.
Yeah, Mike M's killing them too. So shout out to Mikey M there. Shout out to you, Joe Free. Thank you for the compliment. Let's move on to Connor's Cincinnati Reds here.
Reds, baby.
Andrew Abbott is proving to be the real deal, and I'm glad that. I was on him in his first start, cashed it pretty easily, no sweat there. I'm a little scared here, Connor. I'm going to church, I guess, as they would say on this one. I like Andrew Abbott a whole lot, but this is the Houston Astros on the road. 10th full season, third this month against lefties, 149 weighted runs created plus and 152 plate appearances. So a good sample size. And JP France has been, I've been on him actually a lot this year. Not really a lot, I should say, but he's been the Astros pitcher, and same with Belak that I've been betting, because it's just, you have to trust these organizations when they bring up these young pitchers. And the Astros are one of them. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs against Cleveland last time. Beat the they lost to the Red Hot Angels, but 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run in that one. So it's for me here. I'm just scared going to church. Maybe I take a first 5 under here, full game under. But the Reds bullpen obviously is terrifying there. So if I'm picking a side here I'm only taking Reds first 5, Astros full game, and I'm leaning under. Connor, what do you think about your Cincinnati Reds here?
Yeah, both teams haven't seen these guys. It is a little bit of the scary spot here for Abbott. And he's pretty good. I think, maybe it's a little early, but that's why he's been pushed up. I think he's the real deal. Astros team yesterday didn't get any runs. This Astros team's not hitting, but I could see him break out. This is what scares me because I like this under as well. A lot of over love. This is dropped half a run, and I like it too. And I got to take the Reds. A little shot here, first 5. France has been good, and he was off. Seems like he'll have a better start. Reds haven't seen him at all. He walked 6 guys, kind of got out of that. I watched that whole Guardians game, most of it, with him pitching, and he's been solid, like you mentioned, backing. So I like the under, and I have to take Red's just been rolling here for me. Got to take a piece of this first 5 plus 150.
I'm going to move on.
And I could not. I could be. And you know what will happen here, Jose? He could give up 4 runs. Like, it's just Major League Baseball on the road with this lineup of the Astros. But I don't know. It just tough to take right now.
No, I
them hitting. They've been up and down. I don't know.
And no Ellie De La Cruz today, and shout to Preston, who apparently sold his Ellie De La Cruz cards too early, I guess. So shout to you, my man. I hope you hold on to your Vinicius's over there, Preston. But here's the thing. I think that Andrew Abbott's the real deal, and I think he can shut down these Astros lineups. On top of that, no Ellie De La Cruz in the Reds lineup. I'll keep saying that. He's the straw that stirs that drink at time to time. He can get a 400-foot home run or strike out. But I think that this lineup for the Astros, though it is good, Altuve, Bregman, Tucker, Abreu, can get slowed down by the youngster here, and so can a Reds lineup that 16th this month against righties, 94 weighted runs created plus, still below average. So first 5 under 4.5 here for me, minus 105.
All right.
Oh, and you mentioned it. I like I forgot the most important part of your breakdown, actually, Connor. 58% of bets, 89% of the money on the over here, and it's dropped down a run. That's a sign.
Hey, I don't mind, or even this be a split. And another reason why the Reds bullpen has been good. We all know the Astros, whatever they are, 2 or 3, depending on what site you're looking at. But the Reds, the bullpen's been decent.
Really? I've not.
Yeah, I think what are they ranked here? 10th, 3. They've been better as of late. So
yeah, last 2 weeks, Connor. Last 2 weeks, they're 4th in bullpen ERA, 2.15 ERA. Now their FIP is high, 4.41, but that's. Only the Yankees, Giants, and Angels have had better bullpens in the last 2 weeks. Am I gonna double up here on the unders here, Connor Mac picks? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know what you want to do.
I'm going to take the full game under then, too. I'm going to double up on the unders. First 5 full game. Shout to Bobano for the Bobano split, as always. Under minus 105, 8.5 here.
There's been a little bit more of it. Just for me, some of it's luck. Some of it's just early on in the year, and that's how you got to take it. You get the over, and then you could get the full game under. There's just certain circumstances. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seems a little bit more of that lately. This year.
Another good matchup we've got here coming up, Connor Mac. Detroit, Minnesota, not X's and O's wise, because we would think Minnesota would roll these guys. But market wise, I find this to be very interesting here. Let's see here 11% of the bets on the Tigers, but 51% of the money on the Tigers here. Tigers being bet, and obviously maybe it's due to the line being so high, and who wants to take minus 230 with the Twins here. But Joe Ryan's a beast. Everyone knows I love him. But it's just the issue with the Twins, and always will be, is can they hit? Can they hit? And ultimately, I pass this game because I don't trust the Twins' offense, and Tigers' bullpen days are typically not games I want to back. Will Vest starts it out here. We'll see.
Yeah.
Tyler Alexander follows him after, but I really wanted nothing to do with this game, Connor.
Yeah, Alexander's going to be the main guy to eat at least 3 or 4 there. But I got to say, Twins right now, for me, I've talked about my struggles with them. Joe Ryan, very good pitcher, but no way I could take them at this price, especially with the bats, how inconsistent they are at all. So it's like, to me, this is where you take the dog with the Tigers or just stay off, I think.
Agreed. I think you're right there. Tigers are pass here for me. Shout out to Ramos as always. Let's move on here. Not a game I really wanted to over talk about too much there. A good game here. And who knows? Maybe this is the battle of the NL Central. We talked about the Reds. And Connor, I think it was with you as well when we talked about the Reds to win the division. It was like plus 1,300 like 2 weeks ago, a week ago when LA came up originally. Now it's all the way down to 400. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. But these are the two teams allegedly that are going to win this division. I've been down on the Brewers all year. Anyone that's watched this program for 2 seconds knows that. And now we've got a gigantic series here for both squads here. Both, by the way, coming on an L6 and an L3 for the Pirates. So whose losing streak is going to end here? But they pushed Rich Hill back for this start. And that typically is a good sign. It's typically a sign of you want to back a squad, I'll be honest. Especially because they did it, and this is fucking the most elementary thing ever. Like, I could have made this decision, Connor Mack. That's how easy it is. Because Milwaukee can't hit lefties. They're one of the worst teams against lefties all year. 77 weighted runs created plus. Last 2 weeks, 96 weighted runs created plus. So they're hitting them better, obviously. But I don't trust them still. Pirates offense kind of going back into the tank, even 100 weighted runs created plus this month. So I lean Pirates here, but I really wanted nothing to do with it. And shout out to Ron here, to Heron. I faded him many times, and I've actually won the bets, shockingly enough, because but it'll all just be like 1-0, just sweaty ass bets. It's shocking that he can pitch this well still. So I nothing but respect for him. Think this could be an under game here too, Connor Mack. Market wise, real quick before I pass it off to you here, 24% of bets on the Pirates and 31% of the money on the Pirates. So everyone loading up 76% of the bets and 69% of the money on the Brewers there. Total wise here, everyone kind of echoing the same statements I said. It's kind of shocking, the splits here. 10% of the money and 37% on the over. 10% of tickets, 37% of money on the over. 90% and 63 just seems a little bit out of whack. Should be a little higher, I think. So you could say that bigger bets are on the over 9 here, but I wanted nothing to do with this game, so I passed.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the over. I just Tehran, maybe getting the Pirates with their bats have been okay. They seem like they have some huge games that have helped out some of these numbers, Jose. They have these few games where they get 12 runs. It's kind of padded it. But you mentioned Brewers can't hit lefties. They don't hit Rich Hill here. What are they hitting off him? Only 34 at bats, 206. They can't hit lefties. So for me, it's a lean on the Pirates. It wasn't enough for me to bet, and I'd be on the under here as well. One little player prop, Andrew McCutchen, 6 for 21, a double and 3 homers. You can get his jack for 600, is over 1.5 plus 130. I'm still waiting on the lineup though. I don't see it out. I see the Brewers, but if he's in there hitting the leadoff spot, I think there's value there with him.
Okay. Shout out to McCutcheon there, fan favorite as always, and surprised that there's lineups aren't out yet for them. Surprising indeed.
I'm still waiting on the Pirates.
Let's move on here. Let's go to another great game on the slate, and I'm glad that these games are happening later in the day because these are when all the good games are starting to happen here. Cleveland, Arizona, great pitching matchup. Gallen versus McKenzie here. Excited to watch this game, but I really don't have anything to say about this game, gambling wise. I'll be honest. It's Gallen at home. We all know we've seen the numbers with Gallen at home. He's a fucking dog, and I ultimately don't want to fade him at home, especially. Last two starts here, we'll mention at Detroit, he got touched up 5 2/3, 10 hits, 5 earned runs versus the Braves at home, 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Obviously, I can keep saying this till I get blue in the face, but the Braves offense is ridiculous. So I'm not going to be too worried about that one blow-up start. And for those of you who don't know about his immaculate record at home, an 0.96 ERA at home in 47 innings pitched, 60 strikeouts to 7 walks, only 1 home run allowed at home. Yeah. Now, we're saying all this because Zach Gallen's very good, but McKenzie is right there with him when he's feeling good. He's had 2 starts, got touched up against the Astros. I'm pretty sure I was on him that day. 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs there.
He was not on.
No, he was not. So that was the second start coming off the IL. It's tough to pick a side here. I'll be honest, Connor. I mean, the obvious play for me here is under. And we'll look at the market here, and everyone agrees 73% of the bets, 75% of the money on the under. And it's actually, according to the action, it's actually gone up a run, 7.5 to 8, allegedly. So that's just all these red flags lead me to stay off this game. A shout out to Jimmy again. One of his things is like the most obvious play on the board, like that first play that you wake up and look at is the play that usually loses, and the under was the play here, so that I thought of at least. So I actually lean over, but I'm not going to pass.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's just under. That's the only thing I'd want. I don't want the over. I gotta think McKenzie's a little bit better.
I forgot, by the way, Connor. I didn't even. I forgot about the bet. This is my player prop that I cashed. It was McKenzie's under strikeouts. So shout out to Real Deal Prime. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, he only had a K or 2.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Yeah, that was awesome.
I think he's better here. I don't trust the Guardians with Gallen here at home to score runs. After all those runs yesterday, it's something like I don't want to be involved with. To me, this is just Gallen first 5 minus the half. Does it look too easy? Blah, blah, blah. I don't think I've done it enough. I wasn't on a couple weeks ago with the Phillies. He won against Wheeler, and this is where he's been dominant at home. So that's it for me. D-backs first 5 minus half.
Yeah,
I like the under. I lean that way because I think McKenzie's better. D-backs too did play well against the Phillies there at home. I know their record, they jumped out to a good record, but kind of sluggish. I think this is a good spot for them to get right here.
Agreed.
Get a couple runs early. So D-backs.
Agreed. My guy Justin McElvey saying that the Diamondbacks are the real deal. I agree so much that I think they're in the playoffs pretty comfortably. I'm not even a little worried about them not making the playoffs. They're going to be the first wild card team probably because I still think the Dodgers win this division, and the Padres obviously will come at some point. Maybe that started yesterday. We'll see her last couple of weeks. But I think this Diamondbacks team wins the division. And shockingly enough, Corbin Carroll is going to be a top 5 MVP guy.
Oh yeah, he's money.
Amazing. Yeah. He's so good. And it was funny to me. The first part of the year, I was like, yeah, fucking James Outman's going to win NL Rookie of the Year. And then Corbin
Outman can't hit though. He never could hit. That was his problem. Kind of getting to the majors that fights was head scratch because he's never hit for average, and that's what he's going to struggle with. But he does have Jack. It's going to hinder him, without him.
Yeah, and Corbin Carroll's going to run away with this shit. Not even Ellie De La Cruz has been amazing. Not even Ellie De La Cruz is going to come close to that. So it'll be interesting. And by the way, Justin McElvey thinks the Padres win the division. Jimmy bet the Padres this morning. And I think Cab joined him with the Padres to win the division too.
I disagree.
I disagree as well. I don't think they're going to win a division. I think the Dodgers run away with this again, truthfully, because we all know what the one problem is for the Dodgers. Their bullpen is horrible. And I know of one team on the East Coast with a closer that is very familiar with the Dodgers that might be selling this year because they are a very bad team. Well, not even very bad, but just average in the best division in baseball. So be very interesting.
Real quick on the props too, Carol. You talked about Marte he's been hot for over a month, but Carol, Marte, and Walker all goes for props for me. Even Pavin Smith's been pretty good lately.
Even Pavin Smith.
Yeah,
I agree though. Justin McElvey plus 950 on the Padres is not bad. So at least you're getting a good.
Yeah, price. It's good value. I mean,
like I'm glad I didn't make any futures this year, Connor Mack. I've said that several times too. I made one, and it was just my homer pick on the Red Sox. But my only other future I would have considered making was the Padres to win this division, and I'm glad I didn't because I don't think they're going to anymore. So, and it was only like plus 145 or something like that. So it's great value.
You're not going to jump on now?
No, unfortunately not.
No?
I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I've seen enough there. A bandwagon that I think. I've been so back and forth, Connor. I want to jump on the bandwagon again with these Oakland A's. I really do. Shout out to them yesterday. And the king of the first 5 innings, Paul Blackburn. What a fucking dog he is. And what a fucking dog these A's are. I thought that bet was fucked. And then the bottom of the 5th inning, they score 3 runs. Honestly should have taken the lead because they had the bases loaded with like 1 out. And they, of course, hit into a double play immediately. But they could have won that, too. So, again, I'll keep betting Paul Blackburn first 5 innings. But sneakily, J.P. Sears is the best pitcher on this rotation.
I've been saying that. Remember? Yeah, he was kind of the only guy to bet on for me early, too. Yeah.
When Paul Blackburn was not there, it was J.P. Sears is the guy that we got to have to roll with here. And listen to his this is from May 14th, earned runs. 2 earned runs against Texas, 2 earned runs at Houston, 1 earned run at Seattle, 1 earned run versus the Atlanta Braves, who are the best team against lefties this season, 1 earned run against the Brewers, 2 earned runs against the Brewers at the Brewers, and 1 earned run against the Pirates. There we go. It's just been 2 or 1 earned runs this whole time, and the line has moved their way too, and I felt like a donkey for not betting him earlier. And we all know the bats have been fairly hot, but it's just Taijuan Walker. What do we get from him? The bats for the Phillies have also been better against lefties this month is really what scared me off. 25th, 95 weighted runs created plus full season for the Phillies against lefties. This month, 8th best, 125 weighted runs created plus, and 160 plate appearances. So I couldn't just like wave it off as nothing. And again, who are the lefties they faced? I don't have that in front of me. Shout out to Sharpie. He tracks like all the top lefties, so he would know better than me. But a lefty's a lefty. No matter how they come, I still am a little dubious here. So I 100% lean A's. If I'm taking the A's here, I'll take them first 5. Maybe even I'll take them full game because this Phillies bullpen still not there. Still scary. And I'll tell you, everyone on the Phillies here too as well. 87% of the bets, 71% of the money on the Phillies there. Total-wise here, let me see here. Total-wise here, everyone going over here too, which kind of makes sense. If you think the Phillies win this game, it'll probably be a higher scoring game. 76% of the bets, 79% of the money on the over here. Connor Mack, are you, as my guy Nicholas Earl and Tim Earl would say, are you riding the wave on the Oakland A's?
Yeah, I'd be on the A's here, and I'm going to first 5. I'm want to look at their team total even as well. I think you could go that route. One thing, Alan Walker has been pretty good, is 6.75 ERA on the road. 2 back-to-back home starts. Real good. Detroit pitched good against the Dodgers. Only gave up 2 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. And this is kind of the high of that D-backs series. You come to Oakland, it's like, Joe just put it, sleepy spot. Yeah, A's for me here, first 5, and maybe Sears. Maybe there are runs, because if you think Walker gives up some, maybe Sears is due to give up a few, but he's been bet on for me, like you mentioned. He's really the only guy, and Blackburn's just been back for a few starts, that I'd like to back, especially now they've been hot. You could bet him that whole week, but before that,
Yeah.
So A's, I'm on them. Yeah, first 5. I'm gonna look at the team total.
I think I'm gonna give JP Sears the Paul Blackburn treatment here. And that's like a little double up on the A's first 5 plus a half and money line. Money line's plus 110. Let me double check what plus a half is. Because they probably, if it's juice, I'm not gonna take it. Because plus a halves are pretty dicey. I like taking plus a half when I get plus money, or like minus 105. We cashed an easy one. Well, not easy, I guess. We cashed one with Nationals Astros yesterday. I was on a plus a half there. And it was great. Shout out to Mackenzie Gore. Plus a half, minus 130. So I think I'll just stick with the money line then. So A's first 5 money line, plus 110 for me. Let's keep riding. And minus 130 is just a little too juice. So I'm going to keep telling myself that so I don't bet it. It's just a little bit too juice. If I push, it's fine. If I push, it's fine. Next game on our slate, Tampa Bay Rays, San Diego Padres. The game I'm most excited about for me here. And I'll tell you, I saw this line. I was like, what is this? Why is this the way it is? And then my immediate smelly fish radar went off, and I immediately bet the Padres. Padres first 5 full game here. I'm scared to pronounce the Padres back, guys. I'm scared because we've been kind of waiting on it. In the last couple of weeks, they've been smashing, especially lefties. 7th full season against lefties, 115 weighted runs created plus. Last 2 weeks, or I should say the full season, or not full season, full month. As you guys can tell, I'm talking really well today. 2nd, 162 weighted runs created plus, 140 plate appearances there as well. So it's a good sample size. This is the true test. How well they're hitting lefties. Face, if not the best lefty in baseball here. Him, Framber, Clayton Kershaw, the top 3 off my head, and then Max Fried somewhere in there as well. Can you do it here? I think they can. I think they have the star power to hit McClanahan, catch up to the heat. So I am on the San Diego Padres first 5 and full game here. I'm very excited to watch this game. This is going to be very, very good here. It's going to be a very fun matchup here. Let's check out the chat real quick. By the way, Rocco has team total over 3.5 there for the A's there. Shout out to you as well. And by the way, Mr. Rocco Rogers going Rays first 5, Padres full game. It's very interesting there. I don't hate that. I wouldn't hate a split. Actually, I would like to win both, but a split doesn't kill me too bad. I just think the Padres go out here and win it. This line is fishy, and market-wise, we'll touch on that real quick before going to Connor. 25% of bets on the Padres, but 52% of the money on the Padres here. It's telling. It's telling that bigger bets are on the Padres total-wise. About 50-50, 57% of bets on the over and 33% of money on the over. So bigger bets on the under in this game too, which makes sense with both these pitchers on the bump. So first 5 full game for me here. And again, shout out to Bobano, the Bobano split. I typically do first 5 full games when I don't know which side I would rather have. And I'm just like, I just get annoyed with myself if I take one and the other loses. So I bet both. So let's ride here, Connor. What do you think?
Yeah, this big game feel, obviously. Did you mention that, they pushed back Darvish for this game? Rays just were coming out such a hot start. Sleepy there with Oakland, even though they came back and won, 2 of those games, but still, Oakland played him well. But kind of had no on the mound. I think he's good here. I don't trust the Padres. They've been swinging it better. They scored
why
runs.
should you?
I mean, they got some yesterday, but I can't back them here. To me, I take the Rays in this spot, which I don't know if I'm going to do. And this total, they're 7.5 up to 8. I think these guys maybe get hit, but I got to think the under here. When Darvish is on is good, but he can get, and he's better at home. That's why this spot's good. And I get why you like it with the Padres, but I don't want this ball club right now. It's Rays or nothing for me, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the under.
It's going to be a good game. I can tell you that. It's going to be a fun series. Like I said, I think the Padres are so classic NBA right now. Like get me to the postseason, get us to the postseason. We don't care about these games, and they just fucking suck. And that just kind of seems like their mentality. I'm hoping here that a big game at home against the best team in baseball gets them going here. And you illustrated the home road splits for Darvish perfectly, Connor. A 2.68 home ERA compared to a 6.19. Shout out to Rey Mysterio away ERA. 29 strikeouts on the road compared to 12 walks, where it's 45 strikeouts to 10 walks at home there. So pretty scary there. So let's get it here. It's gonna be fun. I cannot wait for that one there. All right, let's move on to our next game. White Sox, Seattle Mariners. Brian, woo! On the bump versus Michael Kopech here. As much as I like saying my man Woo's name, I really wanted nothing to do with this game. Seattle is in the same pot with the Cardinals, with the Padres right now. Just a disappointing team, just jumble. I put the Red Sox in there just because I'm an asshole. And it's just I can never get a feel for this team. I don't have a feel for the Woo man, Brian Woo. I'll be honest. Though, again, I do love saying his name. I just never feel comfortable betting him. And 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs last time against the Angels was great. I'm pretty sure I was on him that day, but I also faded him in his debut against the Rangers, which was the easiest spot ever. Why would you throw a fucking rookie out there against the best offense in baseball at the Rangers? Six runs and 2 innings of work. So I passed here because Kopech is also an enigma. When he's not tipping his pitches, like our guy Jimmy said, he's pitching well, and it's really funny to me. And it's great. It just makes me laugh, Connor, that even in sports gambling, we can feel like we have the edge. Like in his second start, Michael Kopech, I knew he was tipping in his first start. So I was like, all right, I have to back him in the next start. And of course, that next start, he pitches well, but the fucking White Sox don't score at all, and I lose my bet. So it's classic sickening shit with the White Sox. If anything, I'm betting the first 5 and full game unders in this game just because of how bad these offenses are. And I think Kopech can hold down the Mariners at the very least. So nothing for me here, Connor. I'll touch on the market real quick. Money line wise, 50-50 ticket split here, but 83% of the money on the Seattle Mariners there. So a lot of Mariners love their big bets on the Mariners. Totals wise, 58% of money on the over, 65% of the money on the over, 58% of the tickets there. So nothing for me here. I lean, tickets or the market makes me think Mariners just because of that disparity there, but nothing for me here that I feel confident in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to back the Mariners. Not with Brian Woo. I mean, they got high hopes for him, but he's got pushed into coming here too early. You know what I mean? Double-A guy. I mean, he needs more time in the minors. That second start against the Angels was a little bit better. He has a command problem. I lean the under. There's our guy Vitalis. He couldn't believe it in that game. It stayed under about a run, but because Woo got tagged that first start you talked about, Texas. But I want nothing here. The White Sox get 4 solo jacks and nothing else. I mean, this team.
Yeah, thank God. I had the first 5 under 5 there. And I saw the 4. Yeah, I was starting to sweat a little bit, but that was great. Yeah. That was really funny. It's not often you'll see a team hit 4 home runs in the first 5 innings, and you'll cash the under there as well. So it's very funny. And shout to Brian. Woo! As always. I think it'll be an interesting game. Let's go to the last game, Connor. And I'm glad this is the last game. This is your rivalry. This is I guess I'd call it the second best rivalry in baseball, historically. If we're talking about in current times, Yankees Red Sox is definitely not up there. Again, Connor, I'm sure you feel this way about the Padres and the Giants. It's not really a rivalry if the other team doesn't show up. You know, the Padres winning in the playoffs made this a rivalry last year against them. But how can it be a rivalry if the Red Sox just dominate the Yankees every time they play in the playoffs, Connor? It's tough. You know, I don't know how I'd feel about if I was a Yankees fan, but let's talk about Dodgers here. And I'm very interested in your Dodgers. I'll admit it here. Shout out to Justin McElwee, Stacks Pod, Corey Seager, 1.5 bases, my guy. Shout out to you. I want you to tell me about our old Emmett Shaheen here. Shout out to Emmett. Pitched well in the double A this year, and he's gone straight up here, got called up all the way. And Nufflish Allen, by the way, also told us that these Giants players were apparently at Disney World yesterday, yeah, to prepare for this series. So
nice.
I'll be honest. I don't think the Giants show up here. I think that this might be an under spot here, and I really think the Dodgers can come out here and smack them in the mouth. I wrote down Dodgers -1 here. The line actually has moved towards the Giants, and we've got a 56% of the tickets, 73% of the money on the under here. Sidewise here. Wow. Same thing with the Brian Wu start, essentially. 50-50 ticket split, 85% of the money on the Giants here.
Yeah.
So very interesting. My X's and O's say Dodgers, but I'm staying off. I did not really want to back this game, but I'll be watching Emmett here, or Shaheen, or whatever we're calling him. I just want to watch him deal here, and I'm going to be very interested to see how it goes. What do you think about this one, Connor?
He's got to pitch well. Dodgers need starting pitching. I mean,
yeah.
Told Sharpie, Michael Groh, he is not it. He's not ready. He ain't it. He's just fuck. This kid's better than him right now. It's just all the hype. I mean, he's here at home. I could see him get hit. And it's such a big rival. There's so many one-run games. Even if these teams are somewhat, one's better and one's shitty, they're always so tight. But I think the Dodgers hit. They got some good numbers. Reba, my guy Freddie Freeman went to the wall, who's 0 went over yesterday, but I go right back to him here with the 1.5 plus 120, 5 for 7. He's got a couple doubles and a homer. Other guys got some good numbers too.
And we should mention as well, this is going to be John Barabia and allegedly Sean Manaea following him up
behind
as well.
Yeah.
So and Sean Manaea, I'm sure the Dodgers have seen him plenty of times.
Oh yeah.
Especially on the
they own his ass too.
Exactly. That's another spot where I was like, man, I really would like to back the Dodgers here, but I just have.
That's where I would be. I just all them. I don't love all that, but like just for me, Dodgers. I get the -1. I really don't want their bullpen. I want to see if he only goes 4 or 5, but he's a ledger. I mean, this kid's got a great changeup, 99 heat, unbelievable changeup. It's just nasty. Dodgers. I would first 5 -0.5. I had it earlier +108. I don't know if I play it, but that's where I'm at here. I might be on it here. Like,
let's
I'm very close to it.
I can't wait. Let's recap our action here. Maybe Connor will jump on it. If not, he'll tweet it out. As always, shout out to you, Connor Mack, for joining me on a lovely edition of Say Hey Plays here. And as always, shout out to the chat. Hit the crime button as I was reading Christopher Cavatini's fucking comment there. Hit the like button and support Sean Manaea's crime of playing baseball still.
Prime time.
Oh man, this is gonna be an interesting game here, interesting day here, Connor, because this is a big day for me.
Friday nights, baby.
This is
What you got you rolling? This is a big card.
This
The big
is
boys play.
another opportunity for me to get into the black here. I've had two really earnest shots to get there, and I've kind of fallen back in both opportunities here. I've already bet and lost Orioles under 8 there. Whatever. We move on. And we have our record right now, 203 and 205, down 2.87 units, Connor Mac pick. Once upon a time, we were down 35 units. So never forget again where you came from. Official plays for me here. I locked in Padres first 5 full game money lines early this morning, minus 107 both ways there. Boston, New York, under 10, minus 115. Cashed them all last weekend. Obviously, I'm concerned about the back-to-back and Tanner Houck through the second time in the order, et cetera, et cetera. But, actually, I've heard Yankees players talk about Tanner Houck and say how gross he is. So, hoping that continues to be the case.
Gross. Wow.
Gross. Yes. Josh Donaldson even say it, too. So, shout out to him. First 5 full game unders for me in the Cincinnati-Houston game. First 5 under 4.5, minus 105. Full game under 8.5, minus 105 there as well. And I'm riding the wave with the Earls, man. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Tim. Oakland first 5 money line, plus 110. Connor, I was thinking about this the other day. Imagine being someone that started betting the A's during their hot streak and just being like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just keep rolling it over, doubling down. Just take your profit, bet on the A's. Imagine how much money you'd be up right now.
Someone had it. It was like over 100,000. But when is it? Do you stop?
Exactly. When is it that
you stopped after game 5 or 6, which probably was what, 50,000 before you went to that 7?
Really, the time to stop was after the boycott game. That was when we all knew that the A's were going to lose that game against Glass now. So that was easily the one there. But I'm on them again here. Let's keep the train rolling. Oakland A's. Cannot wait to watch that ball game now. Oakland A's games are always just so interesting to me, Connor, especially because you watch the boycott game and then you watch all the rest of their games and you're like, holy fuck. So it's very funny. So shout out to them. Shout out to the A's. Connor, what do you want here today?
Yeah, I got some action here. I rolled with Mets cards under 9. I didn't think I'd play that, but I'm on it. A's first 5 plus 115, and I added. It took their team total 3.5. Their D-backs first 5 minus a half plus 108. Taking down here, just rolling with it. Obviously, that game I like the under, but I didn't take it. Reds Astros under here for me. I just haven't locked in the 4.5 or 8.5, and I got a piece of the Reds first 5. Just when you're like 9-1 in the last 10 bets or whatever I am, maybe better. Got to take a shot at that 150. Rays Padres under 8. I think these guys pitch well, especially they're 7.5s. I don't mind. I think we're good there. Maybe the Padres shut me up. Maybe they rip McClanahan, but he's been straight money. So that's it for me. The 2 leans, I like the Rangers. I think I'm going to stay off. That one's tough for me. And the late night with the Dodgers, the minus half plus 108. I got time there, though, to wait. That's it. Oh, the props here. I talked about McCutchen. I'm going to take him.
Okay.
Yes, plus 600. Yeah, plus 600. His over 1.5 plus 135, too. I'm going back with Freddie Freeman. You can even go back with low, like I talked about, if you can get plus 650 or 700. I don't mind that. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 plus 120 and his Jack 500. That's it.
Beautiful work there, Connor Mac. Pick some Jack of the days as always. Let's get after it today, lads. It's gonna be a good day. Thanks everyone for watching and listening in as well. Worth it. Appreciate you, my man. Made good money listening to you and Dabby talk about that Royals Reds game. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I lost my ass on that game. Worth it, but I'm glad that you're learning here, my man. Reds. Yeah, just keep betting the fucking Reds, huh? It's the Reds. Rick J.
We're cashing the under there too.
Oh yeah. We're cashing both of those for sure. Picks from Dave. Shout out to you, my guy. Thanks for watching. And by the way, tune into Picks from Dave and Dabby Cab the Unmuted Mike, a very good name for a Dabby Cab show. He's going to have a variety of guests on there, ranging from OnlyFans stars to crime syndicate people to who knows. So Dabby Cab is going to, and Dave will be interviewing.
When's the show?
You know how they operate, Connor Mack. They said they're a week away from being a week away. Apparently, it's just like Bruno Caboclo in the draft. He's 4 years away from being 4 years away. So we'll see that. Just stick to the social medias, Dabby Cab on Twitter, Picture from Dave as well, and you'll be able to tune into that stuff. It'll be a whole lot of fun as well. And Dave, and by the way, he said Thursday nights TBD. And Dave, for sure, Dave is going to jump on the program here as well. Probably next Sunday, I'll ask him. This Sunday, by the way, programming note. This Sunday, I'm going to be solo, and we're going to knock out a quick say hey plays in the morning for Father's Day. And then Monday, no say hey plays. I'll tell people this now. Will not be here. No say hey plays on Monday. Taking the day off. Connor Mack, I actually told myself before the season, I said, I am not going to be on air every day betting baseball. I'm going to built in the schedule to have 1 day off a week.
Yeah. Man.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that this year. I still scheduled myself for every day. So we love to see it. It keeps us in the grind. And if I didn't, who knows where I'd be record-wise as well. So it's nice to catch the ebbs and flows of all this as well. So again, shout out to you guys. Worth It, Rocco, Dave, EQ, Alfred, Christopher Commentini, Jeffrey Blue, RBD 420, Justin McElvey as well. Shout out to you, Justin, my guy. You're in here almost every day. It feels like it, if not every day. I'm obviously selling you short there. I should say every day, but you're the man, Justin McElvey. Appreciate you. Hope to see you guys at Publipalooza 3, by the way. Nathan Cerna, Joe Yurkovich, Mickey Cohen. All you guys, appreciate it. Real Deal Prime, appreciate your donation earlier in the show as well, my man. You're also in here as well. Joe Free, Connor Mack's favorite Jack of the Days. He said the Freddie Freeman in there as well.
Hey, Freddie. I only have a few, McCutcheon. And I think you should put some on low. Going back to yesterday. Freddie Freeman, if you had to take one.
Okay, beautiful. Worth it. I don't like picking
one. Fuck me, Freddie.
I don't like taking one individual play as my most confident, but I like the Padres here. First 5
Padres, lover.
That's the
unbelievable.
That's my most confident play of the day, I guess. That, and then I guess maybe the Yankees under game, but we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely the Padres. I will have to admit that. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys again back here tomorrow morning, Saturday morning with Dabby Cab, aka Biff Tamden. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Appreciate you guys as always. Say hey to us on social media at Connor Mack Picks, at Jose Bouquett. And we'll see you guys next time for another edition of Say Hey Plays.